to the tower. Some people have come to us and said, what's going on with the tower? Where are we at? What are the details involved with it? We've received a few questions from people who have emailed their questions in. We're going to start with a PowerPoint that Grace is going to walk us through. We're going to go into questions that have already been asked. Then we're going to open the floor to questions that might have come up from the presentation. And then we're going to go into a time of prayer and just pray for this project. So thanks for coming. And Grace, we have our slideshow ready to go down here at the shelter. So you talk and we'll keep it in time with you.
Sure. Okay. So this is the first PowerPoint update that we're presenting at the Seed Connect. Maybe some of you have seen some sort of PowerPoint before, but I'm just going to go over it so that we all are on the same page about knowing this tower. Can that icon be removed somewhere? Maybe on the left-hand corner, can you? Oh, okay. So anyway, it's a 12-story apartment building, and I'm just going to walk through the features of this building with you. It's a permanent supportive housing, so it will be run under the licensing of permanent supportive housing. It's a drug and alcohol-free place. All the rent prices are going to set at affordable level as dictated by the city. They have set a bar like 20% below market average for home for the homeless and 10% below market average for low income. We are trying to make the prices a little bit even more affordable than that, but we are trying to see the different models, and we're trying to get some stats to make sure we price them right. It's going to have a 3-star hotel kind of comfort over there in terms of the quality of the furnitures and the durability, etc. It's wheelchair accessible in this building. As I said, it provides home for 224 singles, and 67 will be from Home for the Homeless, and 157 from low income. Of the 224 units, 22 of them are barrier-free accessible units. So even some of them have the roll-in showers, so the wheelchairs can roll into the showers. And those have been actually donated or get funded through accessible housing. It's a secure place. We're all familiar with the fob system. It's going to be all fobbed over there. And we have 24/7 front desk people, 2 of them, full-time over there. And besides that, we also have enhanced visibility patrol that is run by Andy's team to make sure the place is very secure. We have loads of tenant support services that are going to go over there in this tower. So the structure of this, from the 3rd floor to the 12th floor, they're all residential units. And then the 2nd floor is the office and meeting place, and the main floor is the commercial space. And underneath, we have 3 levels parking. So just to give you a look at, of course you can see the building all the time. This is how it looks right now, from the top down. This building, the structure-wise, the outside is more or less there, okay? So they're trying to make sure the inside and the fine details are ready. It will be ready, supposedly, at the end of the year, okay? So in terms of the project scope that my team actually covers, we cover 4 work streams mainly. So the first one is the interior space that we have to make sure is furnished. And that is actually headed by Catherine, and she's done a fantastic job. And a lot of work have been really close to completion. We are close in ordering furniture right now for the tower at this point. So the scope of the interior, it covers, you know, the whole of the building inside. So the goal is make sure we have furnished independent living and community building spaces. So the way that Catherine has designed it, she made sure the way that we place our furniture encourage people to really hang out, you know, to have a good conversation somewhere that we can, you know, sometimes even run programs in different amenity rooms or even on the second floor. For those who are in tenant support or even aftercare, you might want to know more about the amenity rooms and the second floor space. For the property and asset management, I mean, just like any building, it requires a lot of work to make sure all the services and facilities are well managed. And our goal is to make sure this place is run as good as anywhere else, if not more. So it's going to be, we won't tolerate any vandalism, any scratch marks or dent and all that. We're going to make sure, yeah, someone is going to constantly, you know, handling that, you know, as a full-time job to make sure the things touch up and no vandalism is encouraged. Okay, for tenant support services, the goal is to have best practice tenant support services of operation and workforce in place. And we are at this point is trying to recruit a full-time tenant support manager, and it will be under the leadership of Karen's team. So pray hard that we find the right person, and after that manager is hired, we're going to hire a lot more tenant support staff. The commercial space. So the parquet is, we don't know the status of the parquet yet. It's probably not going to be open for public parking because of the development permit that we currently have, but it might change later, we don't know. But at this point, we might open this parquet up to maybe residents and staff, so there might be some income there, nothing too concrete. But on the main floor, there are some commercial spaces we want to lease out. We haven't decided who are the tenants yet. And also for the second floor, there are some public, you know, facilities that we might look into rental. The goal is to make sure we find right tenants that fit our profile of the tower, as well as making some money to offset the expenses. As a whole, don't lose, you know, sight of the overall goal of the Mustard Seed. This is our mission. We want to build community. We want to grow hope. We want to support change. That's the whole reason why we have a tower like this, because it's going to do that, and it's got a place people can stay housed and, you know, work on the challenges they have in their lives. Just to give you a breakdown about the units, they are studio units as well as one bedroom. As you can see, there's 201 studio units and 23 one bedroom. And some of them are accessible, barrier-free accessible units. We are serving 67 homeless people coming out from the homeless population, and then 157 low income. So this is what you're going to see is Catherine's work. Okay, she's done a lot of design. These are pretty precise, the measurements and the fitting. How we're going to fit the studio units. There are 5 types of studio units according to the sizes. So this particular one, you know, just want to give you a view about how the living area will be, the kitchen area will be like. And you can see the bed. This is how furnished they are. The one bedroom. So I'm going to run through them pretty quickly, otherwise I'll overrun time, okay? So as you can see, there's kitchen area, living room area, and bedroom area. The barrier-free units, we make sure the measurements are according to the building codes. This is the residential halls. Sorry, I threw that quickly. Maybe I should go back a little bit. Sorry, the residential hall. As you can see, we're going to have couches and all that in the hallway, so you guys can the residents can hang out there just to talk to each other.
These hallways are very long.
Yeah, they're quite okay, quite spacious. Amenity rooms. Then we have 3 types. So every 3 floors, we have 3 types, 3 amenity rooms. They're different. So this is one type. They all tandem. They're dual purposes. All tandem with a kitchen. So this one is kitchen and dining room. Another view. So all furnished with the oven, the cooking facilities, and a big television, which they will like. The second type is kitchen and laundry. So while they're doing the laundry, they can watch TV or do some cooking. And this is the living room, where they can have a casual chats, or even run some tenant support programs there. Second floor. Second floor is the area that we probably have some mustard seed staff, staying there, working there. This is the overall plan. As you can see, there are a lot of small rooms, and there's all the round tables are the banquet room. We call it. Is it how we call it? Banquet room. And then if you see the crosses over there, that is the mobile team room. So aftercare, employment center, those people will be going there, do the stuff and go. So those are mobile units. Okay. Let me go through this. I think we better take pictures. This is the second floor lobby and reception area. 5 meeting rooms, small rooms, as you can see. Some are small for like 4 people, and then some are a little bit bigger for about 8 or 10 people. We have a resource room, library. We're going to put books there for people to read and just enjoy a quiet time there. And this is a classroom, computer lab set up. And we have a small community kitchen area. So we can actually have tenant support programs that we can actually run some class. Yeah, just enjoy some cooking time together. And then maybe the food can be stored by the tenants and save them for later days, etc. The banquet room. So we are thinking of maybe even using this for church service, or even movie night, or even this is actually supposedly public accessible. So public can book this if we are not using it. So the manager room for the mustard seed managers. So it could be the tenant support or the property asset management or any other managers that we haven't decided yet. So this is the mobile team room that I talked about. Main floor. So if you can see the top horizontal line there, and then on the side here, there are the 2 retail spaces. So if we really break them up, that can be 3, retail spaces, commercial spaces. They could be, a clinic can fit in there, or even a thrift store, or, we are exploring some possibilities right now. Do you see the 24-hour security desk over there? No one really can get past that to go into the residential units. So all the tenants or visitors will stop there to really, if they have fob, they can go through, but the security can see them. If they don't have fob, they'll stop there. Visitors will sign in and out, and the residents have to come and pick them up and check with the front desk. Street level. This is how it's going to look like on the street. Just so you know, we're not going to put any furniture outside. Okay, so.
Yes.
So this is not exactly correct. There won't be any benches. So that's it. You know, that is this particular update. I want to focus on physical space. A lot of work have been done on property and asset management, and some initial discussions and planning have been done for tenant support and commercial space. But it's not a mature time for us to discuss that with you, to update that with you. But as we go on, we will update you on those areas as well. So. Right now, we're going to take some questions. Some people have submitted their questions. So maybe Cliff, you can read out your own questions, and I can read out my own questions, answer them.
Sounds good. Grace, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us downtown. All right. Great. Thank you. And I want to just publicly thank Grace and her team for the amazing work that they have done. To get everything to this point is fantastic. I think we're getting feedback. Okay, I'm going to start here with a question of the staff. I was wondering if the seed was planning on putting aside any portion of the building to focus on a treatment center, maybe something along the lines of what the Salvation Army does in many of their residential buildings. We actually are not putting any treatment center in this building. That said, one of the options for the commercial space is a family care clinic. I have some meetings coming up with Alberta Health Services. If you get a family care clinic in the commercial space, you can actually work with other agencies in the neighborhood in consultation and try to figure out what would be best, how would it be best staffed, people with mental health specialists, addiction workers, and things like that. And so that is an option. I would say for the commercial space, that is our number one choice. If we can get a family care clinic in the bottom part of the tower. But as everything with the government, we're not sure. There's a long road to walk to make that happen. And how long will it take? We'll find that out. So the tower has not been designed, though, as a treatment center facility. So if there's not an FCC in the bottom, you won't have anything along those lines. Another question, I was also wondering if any of the units will be available at market rates to staff or anybody else not afflicted with homelessness. Now, this tower is for people coming out of homelessness and also for low-income people. There are criteria for both of those populations coming into the building. We had not really found staff living here, and actually on some terms, on some levels, it probably isn't actually healthy for staff to live there and among tenants and the residents there that we're also serving. So, work-life balance, yes. you want to get away from the mustard seed every now and then. Okay, Grace, the next one's over to you.
Yeah, so how much will rent be? That's the next question. So we haven't decided on the rent pricing yet, but we do have some guidelines. First of all, we have found out how much the average market price is in the Beltline, which is high. And according to the government, kind of restrictions or requirements, we need to offer the home for the homeless rent price that is 20% below the average market price in this area, which is still high. And then for the low income, it's 10% below the average market share, which is still high. So as you can see, it's still not too affordable from our point of view, and our interest to make sure it's affordable to the mustard seed, but at the same time we can actually lower them down enough to be attractive to be some sort of truly affordable to the tenants. So at this point I can't give you, can I give them a range? I'm not sure. But we have some ideas what prices are there, and we are actually looking to the housing department, who deals with a lot of housing allocation or location for the tenants, and I'm trying to collect some stats from them, so we have a better idea what is affordable. So
Great, thanks, Grace. Another question is it going to be drug and alcohol free? The answer is yes. The plan is for this building to be a dry facility, and it'll be run much the same as PSH is running in the 102 building right now in terms of being drug and alcohol free. That's extremely attractive to certain people to live there even. We're planning to work with other agencies also to put people into this building. It's not so much a harm reduction building as it is going to be a drug and alcohol free building. And so that's how we're going to run it.
Okay, next question. Oh, it's also your
there's
question.
A question at this end. It's a good question. How is that going to be enforced? Right now, Permanent Supportive Housing in 106 is doing random drug testing. And so it'll be using random drug testing kits and such like that. So.
Yeah, in the lease agreement, we will actually put that down that they will agree to allow us to do random drug testing.
It's the only way, unless somebody else comes up with a better idea. Yeah, random drug testing is the only way to get a pretty good idea of what's going on in the building.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It's interesting. The idea of a drug dog was just mentioned here at the shelter. We actually have talked about that as well.
Yes,
but there are also human rights violations and all the rest of it that we're exploring. How can we legally run the building in line with our laws and human rights, as well as making drug and alcohol free. So the best we've come up with yet is the random drug testing. Anyway.
Is everybody who's in the building going to be drug tested, or only the people coming from our programs or external programs?
Everybody. The only way for it to be truly drug and alcohol free is all 224 tenants in this building sign the same. See, the thing is, on our lease agreements, they'll look the same. They have to. There won't. Otherwise, we create two classes in this building, which we're not going to do. It'll be the same rules, the same lease agreements. There won't be a floor for this population and a floor for that population. It'll be all mixed throughout, and that's the plan. Over to you, Grace.
Okay, is there going to be a coffee shop on the main floor? No, yeah. Do you know there's a coffee shop just around the corner over there called Wave? No, we're not having a coffee shop here. Yeah. So will the staff be on 24/7? The front desk will have 2 full-time front desks all the time, and I think they're probably on 3 shifts. So Andy will be running that team, as well as we have enhanced visibility patrol at specific hours, as well as we have the receptionist on the 2nd floor. So that's how staff will be. So next question, Cliff. I think you probably covered that already.
To make sure, actually, you know what? This question came from a guest. Some of these questions are also from guests, and this is a question that came out of PSH Housing from a tenant there. What is being done to make sure it doesn't turn into a drug dealing place? Very good question. We do not want this to become a high-rise ghetto and crack house. And so, hence, a couple of things that have been put in place. Definitely, the 24/7 front desk. People are going to be there. Andy's team is going to be there. We're also going to be people who go and live in this unit or in this building will have to go through a process and go through a panel that will decide who's going to go in here. There's I'll just say, the security system in this building is a $700,000 security system in this building. The same company that put the security system in Heathrow International Airport in London is putting the security system in this building. You can lock down this building, you can open space, you can make certain floors available to certain people.